You see, I've had this old bag for more years than I can remember. It's not too pleasant to look at, but it's fulfilled my needs. Then I started seeing younger anglers on the bank with more slender, sexier models, which I secretly fancied slipping my pole into. Mine was showing its age, and although it had an opening like a shire horse's collar and gobbled up all I could push into it, it couldn't perform like others I had taken a shine to. So I made a big decision. I dumped it and splashed the cash on a new rod holdall. Now that is the opening, which I'm sure you'll agree is beautifully written.
Rather different.
Rather different. It's a Richard Chaves piece this month, and it's about sexy luggage. Now if ever you enjoy a light-hearted comic read, you'll go a long way to find one better than that. So it's another one of our promotional videos, isn't it, Matthew?
It certainly is, Thomas.
And what we're talking about this month.
Hey, you've got one the same as mine.
Where did you find that then?
I don't know.
It's the July issue of Pole Fishing magazine. We've got Andy Oldham on the front. We've got a free DVD for you. And what we're going to do today, as the two rather gorgeous looking young men who put it together, we're going to talk you through what we've got inside and what we like.
We're going to do it a little bit different to normal, Thomas, aren't we, today?
Yes.
I mean, flicking through it, we've got a hell of a lot to talk about.
If you like big names, they'll like some of the big names, won't they? Tell them who's in it. Give them a rundown of the names.
What's he called, that chap that won a few matches abroad?
Won a few matches abroad.
England International, apparently.
Alan Scotthorne, we've got him in there.
That's him, yeah.
Alan's Callum Dix, we've got him in there.
Shippy.
Matt Godfrey, we've got him.
Oh, we don't know what to do with Matt Godfrey.
Darren Cox, we've got him. Kaylee Smith just won the Ladies National, bless her.
Awesome female angler.
Absolutely fantastic. We've got her. We've got Andy May. We've got Stuart Lister. We've got Andy Oldham. We've got Steve Hemingway.
Nicholas Speed.
Nick Speed, Rob Wright, Andy Geldart. You name them, we've got them. But what we're going to do now is run through our three favourite features that one or the other of us have shot over the last month. So I'm going to let you go first, Matthew. What is your favourite feature in the July issue? And why should these people buy it? And what they're going to get out of it?
Well, I've folded the page over on this particular feature, Thomas.
Right. Are you going to show ladies and gentlemen what it is? Or are you just going to hold it up and show me?
I'm going to show them what it is. Yeah. It's called Pellet Science. And it's involving a very scientific angler named Nick Speed.
Right.
And now, those of you who know Nick will know he's quite technical, likes to go into depth about things, and he was actually a chef.
He is still a very good chef, isn't he? He cooked us a nice curry last time he come here, didn't he?
It's a beautiful curry. But he's into his flavours, and he's into his textures, and he's into his scents and smells, and he applies a lot of it to his fishing. And in this particular feature, he's talking all about when to use a soft pellet and a hard pellet, and how to soak them, and for what length of time, and how to feed particular kinds of pellets. And I turned up to the feature and I thought, I'm going to learn a little bit here. And I came away thinking, wow. And he actually turned up with a tank and showed me how different pellets fell and broke down in the water. And he's written the piece himself. And I think that everybody can learn a hell of a lot from it. It's a lovely feature. And he caught a load of fish along the way.
I couldn't agree more, mate. I think it's a cracking piece, that one. Absolutely brilliant.
Now, I'll tell you what, you tell me your first choice.
My first choice as we turned through, well, the first one I came to was something that we spoke about a while ago, and I love a head-to-head style feature, and I particularly love a head-to-head style feature when it's a real sort of grudge match. Now, this isn't a grudge match because the two men involved don't like each other, because they're actually quite good friends. But it's a real grudge match because they're the captain of the two biggest and probably the most prevalent match fishing teams in the south. Steve Sanders of Daiwa Dorking, Mark Harper of Preston Innovations Thatchers go head to head. It's a two-part series. This is the first round. It's at a place called Loddon Lakes down in Dorset, which is Mark Harper's home venue. I'll tell you what, it's one of the best days out I've had, really. They've caught two cracking nets of natural water fish. I'm not going to tell you who won. I'm not going to spoil the surprise. But there were some interesting tactics discussed, and well, this has really set the mantle because one of the blokes got his bottom spanked a little bit, and I know he will be hungry for revenge next month. So.
Definitely, and I mean, I think you come away and you said, Matt, I can't believe how serious they took it. They
wanted to win.
Definitely,
both them men did not want to walk, even though they're good friends. They did not want to walk off the bank being a loser.
But you'll have to read the magazine to find out
You will.
who lost.
You will. Come on, number 2 for you then, Mr. Godfrey.
Well, this is something rather different. I mean, there's been a few features done on canal carp fishing in the past, but we wanted something new. We wanted something a bit different. And normally people go down the route of fishing worms and casters and things like that for bonus fish on canals. But this particular lad says, look, I know a little bit of a stretch of canal that's extra special, and I could take you there and guarantee you catching a big carp and maybe a few little ones. And that was Rob Wright, Browning sponsored angler, and he took me to the Grand Union Canal at Tring, and it's nowhere. It's like nowhere I've ever been before. It's unbelievable. And he fished baits like corn and meat and that sort of thing. And not only did he catch 4 or 5 pound carp, but he caught one that, well, it's a fish of a lifetime from a canal. It weighed nearly 20 pounds. I mean, you can see, you can hardly fit in his landing net on some of these pictures, but it's a lovely feature. And he caught a load of skimmers the same day.
You came back, it was similar to when I sort of come back from the Mark Harper and Steve Sanders.
Yeah,
and we're talking to you on the way home, and it's a wow factor, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
And that's what you want, isn't it? You know, when you can sort of come home and feel that you've learned something and you're all inspired, and I think that really comes across nicely.
I said to you straight away, we need to go and try some canal.
So we're going to do pole testing there at some point in the future. You feel that?
I'd love to, mate. I'd love to.
Definitely.
But a lovely feature and dead exciting. Loads of snags, fishing up to snags, big canal, wild carp. And like I say, his tactics are a little bit different from the norm as well, so that'll be a very interesting read.
I think it's a great feature.
So, fire away, what's your number 2, Mr. Tom?
Number 2, I'm turning through. Now, I've got to mention this lad here.
Bless him.
Bradley Gibbons. Now, I first met Bradley, I think it was back end of last year. He came up on the Stainie, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And, you know, as these young anglers have a habit of doing these days, or so it seems, he drew a flyer end peg, didn't he? Bagged up. And he comes second in the match, which is no mean feat on the Stainie, because it's very, very tough competition on there. And I thought, well, yeah, this lad can fish. And I saw him at Whiteacres, and we're talking to him down there. Again, I think after 3 days he was in the top 3 or 4 in the festival with 3 section wins. He, quite frankly, is one of the most natural talents that I've ever had the privilege of watch fishing and talking to. And such an old head on young shoulders, you know, such a nice lad, a modest lad. I had to get on the bank with him. It wasn't until I got there that I found out quite how much he's achieved. He's actually a specimen angler, first and foremost. He's caught, well, I'm going to let you read the feature without giving too much away, but if I say he's bank fished to £154, I think that's right. Yeah, £154.
So it's fair to say he likes his big uns.
Yes, he likes a big un, does our Brad?
Yeah.
And I've basically done a little interview with him in here, and I think from the feedback I've had already, it's gone down really well. I'm just going to read you a little quote that Steve Sanders said about him. He said, "He's the second best 16-year-old I've seen in all my years as a manager and a coach. The best was Will Raisin. Frankly, Bradley is an unbelievable talent. His natural ability is immense. His attitude is impeccable, and I'm sure that he will become a full international one day." So if you want to find out more about him, you have to pick up the magazine.
And I know Bradley quite well, and what an unbelievable lad he is. He's awesome, isn't he? Brilliant attitude.
Definitely. So your number 3 choice, Mr. Godfrey.
My final one. Now, there's plenty I'd like to pick, but you know I love natural venues and I love things that are a little bit different.
Yes.
And this particular feature is on a very special venue, a little bit different to the norm, with another England international, and that is Callum Dix. And I says to Callum, where can we go that's a little bit different from the norm? And he says, why don't we go on the Gloucester Canal?
I think it's a good move. It's quite topical. I think the Winter League finals on there in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it is.
So it's a good opportunity for anybody wanting to get a picture of what they can expect on the Winter League final, to have a little look about some of the fishing that's on offer. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's not going to be as good as this for everybody, is it? But
well, you say that, and I mean, Callum didn't absolutely bag up on this, but it's quite a hard venue to crack. I mean, you're talking depths of 12, 14 feet deep on this canal. It's not your average canal. Where we actually fished was opposite a big turning bay, and it was nearly 100 metres wide in this particular bit. And like I said, it was a red hot, clear day. The fishing was going to be difficult, but Callum went about feeding in a certain way. He was still very positive about how he went about it, but and then how he topped up throughout the day. He just really talks you through his session and every decision he makes, and little things like when to try a certain hook bait and how to read certain fish coming in your peg. So he just takes it a step beyond, and you can see why on a hard venue, a big, vast, natural, gritty venue like that, people like Callum always seem to come out on top, and you only have to read this feature to sort of see that. So that were a good one for me.
Yeah, I think that's a great feature, mate.
But talk to me about your final favourite feature in the July issue.
The first two that I picked sort of really stood out. The third one, I think, as you said, we've got a lot of great features here. And I do feel a little bit guilty, because, you know, as I'm a northern lad, I've picked 2 southern features so far. Another really, really good feature that I shot. This was obviously shot a couple of months ago, so that it was inside the river season. I better say before I go any further. That was between Dave Brooks Jr. and Simon Fields. Now, these are 2 lads who I know really well. I fish with them a lot. And you're going to struggle to find 2 better river and canal anglers. And you're especially going to struggle to find 2 better river and canal anglers in their own circuit. Now, I went to the River Ancombe with them at Brigg. And, well, it was a remarkable day. It was about 3 or 4 days before the season closed.
Yeah.
And they caught, well, over £50 of perch. Well, mainly perch. I reckon they've had £40 of perch, don't you? Looking at them nets.
Just show the people that for a cracking net of fish.
It was brilliant. And the nice thing is, as well, they've given an awful lot away in this, haven't they? They really have gone to town and said how you can turn a peg that might have been remarkable, there might not be many big fish feeding, you might not even have many roach to catch. So a lot of people think, well, if I've not got big fish, I've not got roach, I'm screwed, you know, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But these have shown how you can turn that into not only a nice day's pleasure fishing, but if you're a match angler, potentially a match-winning net of fish.
You don't associate perch winning so many matches, do you, nowadays? But, I mean, these have proved you can do it.
Well, time and again, you know.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of technical stuff in there. It's a great piece, and I think, you know, topped off by the fact that it's with them 2 anglers. That's my number 3 choice.
Very nice indeed. So, and of course we've got the latest gear on test. We've got a couple of cracking competitions in there.
Nice pole test as well, didn't we?
Yeah, let's
really
not say
fair
too
venue.
much about
Really fair venue this month, wasn't it? Not like last month when it was Peggy, is it? Somebody got the bottom smacked, didn't they? Hey.
Like I say, there's some lovely competitions.
Yeah, there's some nice competitions, to be fair.
Yeah, you can win yourself a Garbolino Power Legion pole worth nearly £1,000. And we've got the latest...
There's actually, I think these are 4 competitions this year. We've got John and Crystal Dibbers for you to win. Nice selection of those. We've got a Garbolino Power Legion, as Matt's just said. We have got some Shimano line for you to win. And a quad box, isn't it?
Yeah, Simon Wilsmore's latest one.
So all that, and I just hope you enjoy reading the magazine as much as we have enjoyed putting it together. Now, Matt, before we go, I want you to tell the people a joke. Think on your feet, think quick, come on.
What kind of bees make milk?
Don't know.
Boobies!